Hi, friends. Welcome to the second week of Nonprofit Management and Leadership. I'm Russell West. In the last week, I've gotten a message from the program managers that many of you are in family camp. You had responsibilities that kept you from getting inside of the classroom, making sense of these things. So it's been kind of a hurried rush to be where you're required to be in all of these places. I understand that. So we're going to make the last week a very gracious space. Looks like overnight a lot of things populated in the course space, so the pressure is now on me to catch up with you. But let me give you a little bit of orientation so that you know what I'm looking for from the class, and maybe to talk through the very simple design that I think we're working with. Michael Gerber is an organizational consultant. He wrote a book called The E-Myth. In it, he makes a quote that makes me absolutely hate Michael Gerber, but love him at the same time. He says, your organization is perfectly designed to get the results you're getting. And I want you to think about that. Your organization is perfectly designed to get the results you're getting. Now, if you like the results you're getting, great. Would you be able to reproduce it in another context? Are you aware what's causing it to go well? You see, the person who has something going well but can't explain why it's going well or reproduce it on command is in as much jeopardy as the person who's scratching their head going, I do all the right things, I follow all the textbooks, and still it goes dysfunctional on me. I don't understand what's going on. Those two people who have no insight as to how their organization is perfectly designed to get the results it's getting are in the exact same predicament. If I could explain what my learning objectives are, no matter which course I'm teaching, it's to help folks to move from a level of naive realism, just a common sense view of whatever's in front of you must be the facts, must be the whole story, must be the truth, to critical realism. And with that thought, I use this to keep myself on edge. Things are never as they appear to be. I don't mean that something dark or immoral is going on, but that there's more to see and that I can only see from my perspective. So humility and a learning attitude is the way I walk through the world, with the assumption that I've never seen the back of my head. I don't know what my blind spots feel like when I show up inside of an organizational team meeting or seek to lead something or design something. It is best that I cultivate a methodology, a practice that allows me to take a journey from myself and to see myself inside of the system. Someone taught me to call it situational awareness. That I use external guides to alleviate internal distortion. So I let the context around me speak to me. I am not only a person who's learned how to exegete the meaning from ancient literatures, as Bible students do, but I also have to learn how to exegete a social situation or to exegete an organization. I can just as easily read into a text, we three kings of Orient are, as the old hymn says. Well, there aren't any three kings inside of the birth narrative of Jesus. There are magi and wise people from the East. But we sometimes get our cultural lens inserting a meaning in, attributing as to what we think it is we're seeing. And in that respect, the same problems that come when people interpret and create these weird interpretations from a biblical text is no more weirder when we do it in a social context, when we project onto others or into a situation a diagnosis that is in no way complete, or in some ways even near the facts. So humility is called for. Our organization is perfectly designed to get the results we're getting. So what results is our organization getting? That's where we begin our class with a focus on mission-based management. That we use the criteria of our mission to interrogate the rest of our fulfillment system so that promises made in the end are executed as promises kept. And don't you think a little girl, brown eyes, shivering in the cold because a hurricane or a tornado has upended everything that was familiar to her, a traumatized family, don't you think that they deserve to be regarded from their point of view, from their point of pain? from their perspective of what's needed versus your design to decide that it's soup alone and blankets alone that they need because that's what you're prepared to do. Your organization is perfectly designed to get the results you're getting. So we want to become intelligent around this beast called organizations that has to mediate so many elements in order to achieve a leader or a small team's will and to implement it so that folks experience care, nurture, and the service and the witness that we intend. So I'm going to offer you a few external tools. You're going to learn about something that are called logic models that explain, on paper at least, what change a group had intended to make and what they believe is necessary for that change to occur. You'll find that if you interrogate an organization's fulfillment system, you'll find that there are often gaps inside of it. And the things that they think that it's doing, well, it is systematically not doing the things that they think it's doing. And we got to learn some of the methodologies to learn that, because you don't want to be Boo-Boo the fool, to find that all the while you've been making promises to a brown-eyed little girl child shivering, and all along we can predict that your system will not deliver on that promise. Right? We don't want that. So I am going to offer you some of the perspectives that consultants use to become consultants to our own organizations, to be consultants to our peers, to left and right, and to invite the consultancy of the context and diagnostics that we can use to get an external guide to alleviate internal distortion. Now, another one of those mental models that I'll introduce is something called the PACE model. P stands for the programming that we use. The A accounts for those assignments we give to folks so that the program promises are in the hands of the right people with the right stuff, reporting in the right directions to get what they need to do the job. The C is the capital box, that we have the right stuff to throw at the challenges that are in front of us to achieve that promise. And then the E box is the evaluative practices that we use to determine if a promise made is a promise kept. We're going to use logic model and the PACE model as two external mental models that I want to exercise you in as we work through the 8 weeks of this course. In addition, we have arranged the readings inside of Brinkerhoff's Mission-Based Management and Watson and Brown's The Most Effective Organization in the U.S., Leadership Secrets of the Salvation Army. I have basically pulled those books apart and reorganized them around the 4 priorities of a PACE model, around programming discussions, around the accountability or the assignment discussions, those sequenced activities that determine if you're going to keep your promise or not, the execution disciplines, the C box of cash and capital, and the E box of evaluation to know if our execution has achieved those promises. So I've reorganized and sorted our reading to fit under that mental model, and I will be present in each of our discussions to keep exercising you in this. So you have 3 assignments to get the class done.